how do you shift realities and how do you remain there? That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. If you don't know me, I'm Margarida. I'm a metaphysical mentor and I'm here to be your activator, your mirror, helping you to remember the divine that lives within you, that God lives within you, that the source is who you are, so you can master your reality. You can actually live the life that you love, and you can set yourself free from these past limitations, this programming that was put into you. You now have the choice, you now have the decision. And when you remember who you truly are, that's the moment that you wake up and I was always in a driving seat and I just thought that I was not on a driving seat. And when you understand about the concepts that you have about things that maybe were making you feel like you didn't have any power, you're going to feel absolutely free and in love with that source that lives within you and start living your life from that place and not only from your human character but from awareness, from consciousness. So in this video I'm going to be touching on how do you shift versions, and I'm going to be bringing possibly like three different points. The first point that I want to bring it to you is that you are already like all the time constantly shifting versions. So it's not something that you even have to learn how to do it, because you already do it all the time, consciously and consciously. It's something that is so natural to you. Shifting versions, it doesn't mean that you are, because you might think, oh, but what do you mean I'm shifting versions? Like my reality remains the same. Yeah, but shifting versions, it's a shift that happens internally in your state of being, in what you believe and what you see yourself to be. So the moment that, for example, you choose that now, okay, now I want to start doing this sport. Okay, now let me adjust a little bit the camera. See where like moving a little bit. Now I see this person differently. Now I have this new idea that I'm accepting. All of those, they are new versions of you. Like momentaneously, there's a lot of teachers that teach this in quantum physics. Like you're constantly shifting versions. Like in every single moment, and in a day, you are shifting versions millions of times. So you make a decision and you're constantly making decisions and choices, either you realize it or not. And what I mean by this is, for example, your mind says something, oh, I really want to go dancing today. And this is an opportunity that you can choose, yes, I'm going to follow this desire that I have and this intention. But then maybe another thought comes and says, oh, but where I don't even know how to dance. And then you make a decision to agree with that thought and to give it authority. You are like, yes, okay, this is the truth. And you choose and you make that decision to live as that version that chose to believe and chose to follow that thought as the truth, as authority. When you have another version of you that says yes to that idea and they went to a studio and they had a lot of fun and they had the most amazing day and they met new people and they feel so alive, and then the other one felt stuck all day and felt like they were not living what they truly want. And this is happening in your day, like second and second and second, every single second you are making these decisions where you're collapsing the timeline. It's like you have all of these infinite timelines, and by your choices and by your decisions you're collapsing them and you are selecting that one, that one, that one. So you're constantly selecting timelines, you're constantly selecting and choosing consciously or unconsciously new versions and versions of you. So this is the first thing that I wanted to let you know. The second thing that I wanted to let you know is that I want you to look at it, and this I learned from a book from one of my mentors, Jorge Gonçalves. If you shout out to him, he's from Brazil. He wrote in his book, and I found it so amazing, and I want to share it with you so more people have this access to this wisdom that I took it then to my life. I wanted to take on this thing that is, a lot of people hear about shifting versions, shifting identity, shifting realities. Yes, this very big. What is this? This looks very complicated. This sounds very hard. I don't know. It sounds like I have to spend all my life studying for this, for mastering this. And in reality, one of the best ways that you can actually um, see it, and in a way that helps you and soothes your mind that is very logical and that wants to control, is to look at it as I'm choosing and I'm shifting my lifestyle. So instead of saying the word versions or realities, you can name it your lifestyle, because you already have a lifestyle, right? You already have a life. You're here, you're alive, you have a life. What you are desiring is to have a different lifestyle. And different lifestyle, that doesn't mean only the places that you go to, the people that you talk to, those are included, but also means like being a different, like having different thoughts, having different ideas, having different concepts, believing in other things. Like that's all part of a different lifestyle. Like there's a Margarida that has a lifestyle where she knows that everything goes very smoothly, that money is abundant, that everything she desires is already here, and she lives by that. She chose to accept that. So this is a lifestyle. It's not only the external things, it's an internal way of living. So you want to shift the way you live. You want to be living the life you freaking love. Like that's why you're here. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even care about the word manifestation, about shifting realities, shifting values. All I want is to live the life that I know I'm meant to live, the life that I love, being the version of me that I love to be. And so when I remember and I tap into the version of me that I love to be, the version of me that has concepts and beliefs and choose to believe in the stories and the truths that are freeing, that are abundant, that are prosperous, that are healthy, that are beautiful and loving. That's my ideal version. That's who I prefer and love to be the most. So I wanted to be looking at, when you have the desire to shift your reality, you want to experience a new lifestyle, external and internal, because the external is your reflection of the internal. It's a reflection of who you think you are and what you say about yourself and what you believe and accept to be truth. That's what your consciousness projects into the physical world, and it shapes and it molds it. And so, if you think about this as like, okay, I'm actually changing my lifestyle, and you can do this right here, right now. You can know that certain thoughts can come to your mind, doubts and questions. So I'm going to give you some examples of it. Internal, external, air quote things. So imagine like you wake up and then you have your mind thinking, oh, my boss is just going to be a mess again. Everyone is just so mean at my work. I never get what I want. So you have this narrative, right? In that moment, you can say, I choose to live a different lifestyle. I choose to now know and accept and believe that everyone is just so nice to me, that I have the best work environment, that I love what I do, that I love, and I just feel so lucky to be there, and it just feels so nice. Like I accept that now, that I see everything is working out for me and unfolding for me, and I know that I'm always at the right place and at the right time with the right people. So this is already a shift in the version that you're being. This is something practical that you can already put, and by that you're going to be living a different lifestyle. Maybe you're driving to your work, and instead of like replaying all the scenarios that you don't like, instead you're actually listening to your jazz soundtrack that you love, and that you just feel like, no, this is the way that I live now. Like I choose to be this version now. Like I choose to believe in this and to know this. And you are seeing then, and you know what, I always wanted to be, imagining during that work day of yours, you always comes up to you then, because when you start to tap into this new lifestyle, new things are going to come up, new, that identity, that new version that you are selecting and choosing now to live, she's going to give you inputs and ideas and thoughts and beliefs and feelings and all of that. And maybe she's going to remind you, I always wanted to go to this cafe. I saw it and I always wanted to go there. What if I just go there after my work and I'm going to write on my notebook and listen to the music that I love? and feel like the main character of my life, because I am. And after your work, you're going there. And instead, maybe the other version was going to be like going back home, Netflix binge watching, which is all good, loving it. But giving an example like, oh, you don't like it. I hate my life. It's so hard. Everyone's so mean. I'm stuck. I'm on a wrong path. All of that. But no, the other version, the other lifestyle, she's living life. She's following what brings her excitement. She's letting herself free. When you feel free is when you allow yourself to live the lifestyle, the version of you that you love and prefer the most. And it means following and allowing yourself to be an expression of source that lives within you, that is living from you through you. And source wants to experience that. She wants to go to that coffee and she wants to experience that. And that's you. You allow all of that to be expressed in your life. And when you realize you just had the most amazing day, and you have just shifted versions. You have just shifted your lifestyle completely. And this is a choice that you do it in every single moment. Imagine you are at your work and you have a coffee break, and maybe before you never talked with your coworkers, or you never made a loving compliment, and maybe in that day you're like, you know what, my favorite version, my ideal lifestyle, I have beautiful connections and I share goodness and love and light into this world. So I say to someone, I love your outfit. And from that point on, you start talking and you have the best coffee break and you go back energized to your work. I'm talking about this because I already worked in places like that. And I know that is your perspective that can shift anything. You can be like in a place that seems so hostile, but if you bring in new energy and if you bring new intentions and you make new decisions and choices, you can actually make it really fun and really good. So, and then I wanted to show you how simple it can be. You are shifting your lifestyle. So, you're going to be living new things, like going to different places, talking to different people, talking to yourself in a different way, choosing the narratives consciously that you are buying to. Practicing, knowing, remembering every day that you are source, that you are God, God lives within you. This is all a choice, a daily choice. You're here to be a selector, a chooser, a decider. That's not even a word, but you know what I mean? Making decisions, because creation is finished. All is done. All is created. So you are already all of it. You are already everything. And so this is something that really helped me, was recognizing, you know what? Is just a change in a lifestyle. I'm changing my lifestyle right now. And this means, of course, I'm shifting into a different reality and into a different version, because different versions have different lifestyles. And what I said in the beginning, internally and then externally, because that's just the mirror. So this was the second topic that I wanted to bring it to you. And the third topic is, how can I remain then in the version that I chose? Because you choose is just a decision. You just say and that's it. Like that's God. God said, let there be light, and there was light. That's you. Let there be this version of me, and that the version of you is here now. So it's just a decision. Your reality is your decisions. I was listening to this earlier from another mentor. And how do you stay in that state that you chose, in the timeline, in the reality, in the version that you love the most? You remain there. And this, I put it myself in practice already this morning. Before I woke up, I was starting to have like some thoughts of this other version of me that I'm not choosing anymore, like that I don't want to live anymore. Like it's not my preference anymore. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not my preference. And my mind was saying, oh, I'm still this, I'm like this, and speaking and having thoughts from that version. And there was a moment that I thought, my mind thought to her, oh, like what should I do? I have to fix this. I have to convince myself that I'm this new version, I have to convince myself. So my mind was saying, oh, I must convince myself that I'm this version that I prefer to be. And then I remember something that I learned from a teacher, that this was life changing, and usually the simple things are really the most powerful ones. It was, you when those when that version of you that you don't like to be so much, so the version of you that you have chosen to let go, and now you have chosen to be a new version, a different lifestyle, a different reality, that version of you, your mind sometimes is thinking from it and is giving, uh, still wanting to identify with that version, right? And what you must do is no repressing, no resisting, no trying to convince anything, no trying to fix, no trying to heal, no trying anything. There's no trying here, baby. You're God. You don't try. You are, you decide, that's it. And I remember this from that I learned from a teacher, as I was saying, is I look at it and I'm like, I see you. I'm also that version, yeah. I'm God, I'm the whole, I'm the source, I'm all the versions possible. So yeah, I'm also that version, maybe a version that is a little bit more limited, or that, yeah, chooses different truths. And I look at it inside of me and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm also that. And that's okay. I'm also that. And that's part of the whole. But now I choose to be that. I choose to be this. I choose to be this new, not even you, because they're not new. But I choose to be this version that I prefer and that I love the most now. That's it. I know that this sounds very simple, but you try. You try. Because if I looked at that and I was like, oh, damn it, I still need to fix it. What's wrong with me? I have to convince my mind that I'm that version. Like, I know how it feels. It feels like hard work. It feels like efforting. It feels like I'm fixing myself. And I want you to move from wholeness. So if you are whole, you see that version that you don't like so much anymore, that you're just, you're just done living from that point. You just want to live something different, and you look at it and you say, yeah, I see you, you are part of me as well, you're part of the whole. But now I choose to be this Margarita that is abundant, that is prosperous, that knows, that is whole and complete, that trusts in its own decisions, and that knows that all is here now, like, and it's easy. This is what I choose to believe now. And when I make this tiny adjustment that feels so tiny, but it's like gigantic energetically, it just feels like liberation. It feels like ease, because you remember, I'm whole, I'm complete, so I'm also that, but I'm also this. Just because my mind is thinking those things doesn't mean that I'm not also the version that I prefer and that I chose, because you cannot never not be something. Creation is finished, so you're always unconditionally all the versions, everything. So even when you have the most limiting thoughts, you still are the most abundant version of you. They all coexist, they're all here, and you are all. And then when you are saying yes to that limited version, yes, I see you, but I choose to be now the most abundant version because that's what I prefer. You're putting your attention, your focus, the most powerful thing you have there in a right spot, because all is already here. It's like you are an immense castle with all these different windows, and these versions, they're all these different windows. So that window was opened by mistake, and you see, oh yeah, I also have this window in my castle, in my palace. But now I want to see the world and I want to see the view from that window. So I'm just going to close that one and I go to the other one. I don't have to, no, please, you have to destroy this window. I have to see what's wrong with this window that is always opening itself. No, you don't fight. The more you fight, the more you resist, the more you persist, because you're putting your attention and your focus, and you're still saying to yourself, I'm still this, I'm still not what I want to be. And the moment that you say, yes, I'm this, but I'm also the most abundant version of me, the most loving version of me, I'm whole. I feel whole. I feel truth. I feel liberated. So I hope this message resonated with you, and I hope these three topics that I gave you wisdom, gave you practical knowledge, and gave you this remembrance of who you truly are. And if you want to dive deeper with me, you can go to my stand store. I have one-on-one sessions, like unique sessions just for women. And then I also have a Master of Your Reality mentorship that is 4 weeks, 4 sessions for 1 month. And I'm going to be opening soon as well a group coaching that we can gather either once per month or like 2 times per month. And I want to be a reunion a place where these mind blowing, inspiring human beings are willing and are voted to live their inner excellence and inner greatness by honoring who they truly are. And if you did like this video, comment down below, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you can also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram where I post a lot of like daily things, TikTok reels, and so on. And I'm just so grateful to have you here with me. I just wanted to all the time remember you that you are loved, that you are whole. There's nothing that is wrong with you. All is perfect now. How can you allow yourself to see that you already are on the right path? So much love, and I see you very, very soon.